I'm not even gonna write a script for this because I am just beyond confused. What the fuck is actually happening right now? Hello everybody, it's me, KChaz575 here, and welcome back, finally, to a new video on the channel. I know it's been such a long time, and I apologize for going on break, but I just had to come back for this, because, again, I am literally beyond belief with what news we just got about Mario Kart in the last 24 hours. It's been a fucking roller coaster of a mess. First off, if you weren't aware, Nintendo published a developer interview about Mario Kart World, where the devs just kind of sat down and talked a lot about the game, and ironically talking about stuff that wasn't featured in the Mario Kart World Direct. Fuck knows why. But the first big thing that was talked about in that interview is that Mario Kart World started development at the end of 2017. And that's pretty wild, I have to admit. I mean, I always thought the game started development around about 2019 to early 2020, but holy shit, to think it's been in development that long since Mario Kart 8 Deluxe initially came out, because you gotta remember, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out in what was it, May of 2017? I'm pretty sure it was May, when that game came out, but, just not long after that came out, they were like, we're making another one. And of course, that means that the game was also going to be built for the original Nintendo Switch. And, they were talking about, how they faced a lot of problems, such as, you know, graphical limitations. They thought they would have to cut down the frame rate. I mean, imagine a Mario Kart game not running at 60 FPS. That would just be absolute torture. But sometime in 2020, when they received the dev kits for the Switch 2, they moved over to the Nintendo Switch 2, and that's where we get Mario Kart World right now. They also talked about how the NPC drivers came along, and funny enough, it was the cow, you know, the infamous cow that we've all poked and said, oh haha, look, there's a funny cow. The cow is the reason why the NPC drivers exist to this day. In fact, they even said themselves that the NPC drivers were responsible for Kamek being an item. And I don't know why, but that just sounds like kicking Kamek fans in the dick. Probably the big thing, at least I personally think it's big, the big important thing from this interview is that if it wasn't for the open world gameplay, then this game would have been called Mario Kart 9. Which officially means that Mario Kart Tour is not a mainline entry, and therefore is not the 9th game in the series. The debate is finally over. Now, I've never been one to argue if Mario Kart Tour was mainline or it was the 9th game in the series. I just personally saw it as its own thing, kind of like with Mario Kart Home Circuit. You know, maybe that's not fair to compare the two, because, you know, they're both two completely different experiences, but I could see why some people were saying that Tour wasn't the 9th game, or it was the 9th game, because obviously the impact it had on so many things, you know, the 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. In fact, the whole Booster Course Pass situation is very funny now, considering what was revealed in that interview, but, you know, I won't talk about that here. But, you know, Tour to me always stuck out as a game that was just kind of there. Like, yeah, it was cool, it was fun, it was nice, I still play it, but to say that it was the 9th entry and a mainline game, to say on the same level as 8 Deluxe, that was like, I can see where you're coming from, but I just don't vibe with it. But anyway, that's not the big news. I mean, it was originally the big news, but just a few hours shortly after that interview went live, we got some pretty big news from a known Mario Kart Tour data miner, who's called Koopa V. I'm not sure if you guys know him. He's British like me, so appreciate that, I guess. Has since revealed that Mario Kart Tour, after nearly 2 years of being in a constant loop, is finally receiving new content sometime in June. I think it's June 11th. That could just be a placeholder date. I really don't know. It's a leak at the end of the day, so take it with a grain of salt. But Mario Kart Tour is getting... I mean, it's not really new content because, as Cooper V explained, it was content that was supposed to be in the game from minute 1, but for some reason was just never made it into the final game. I really don't know how that works, by the way. I don't think you can just walk in and be like, guys, we got new content we want to put in this game 2 years after we're done. I don't think that's how the game industry works. So supposedly, the new content is one new driver. Now, Cooper V didn't specify if it was an actual, new character or it was a new alt. I want to hope it's a new character, but if it's a new alt, I personally wouldn't be surprised. But we're also getting 4 brand new carts. Again, the rarity was not explained. They could be common, they could be supers. They're most likely going to be high ends, but we don't know what they are. We don't know what rarity they are. There are 4 new carts and 1 new driver coming. No gliders though. We're not getting any more gliders. So rest in peace to 300 plus gliders because they're not coming back. It's really interesting as well because this new content is literally arriving a week after Mario Kart World is released. So there's that possibility now that this new content has to do with Mario Kart World. Like maybe this new character or this driver that was supposed to be in the game for day 1 maybe it was leaking Mario Kart World a little bit too early. Like maybe the developers were like, okay, you can't do that or else you're going to leak our next game. We don't want that to happen. So I'm very curious to see who this new driver is. There's a lot of speculation going on online. Could it be the cow? Could it be, I don't want to get too temperamental in here, but could it be Paratrooper? Could it be my boy? Could it be an alt? Could it Mario Touring? I know that one's been thrown around a lot lately. It literally just could be anyone. It could be fucking Silver Luigi. But now, obviously, this begs the question. Is this going to be the only time that Tour is getting new content, or could we be seeing some sort of Mario Kart Tour revival? I mean, Super Mario Run got new content and it had its arrival. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp was technically relaunched with a paid version. So, could we be seeing a Mario Kart Tour revival? Could we be seeing World content be put into the game? Could we be seeing some tracks downscaled from World and put into the Tour engine? I mean, like courses like Boo Cinema. I think Boo Cinema would work really well in Mario Kart Tour, in my opinion. But, that's just my opinion. But, of course, at the end of the day, it is a leak. And even if it is from a pretty reliable data miner, at the end of the day, it is still a leak. So, obviously, it is not 100% reliable. I also should probably mention as well that this is supposed to be arriving during the Mario vs. Luigi Tour, or as I like to call it, the tour where Luigi fans get absolutely fucked. So guys, at the end of the day, what do you think about this news? Do you think Mario Kart Tour is gearing up for a return? Or do you think this is just a random, oh look, here's just some new content and then we're gonna go bye-bye again? I mean, for me, if Mario Kart Tour is getting a relaunch, then by all means, I'm here for it. I mean, it would be nice to have 2 Mario Kart games at once get potentially new content. It would just be a Mario Kart bonanza. It would just be really crazy just to, have that kind of experience. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Cooper V did say that if Nintendo wasn't going to make any official announcements about this new content, then he would make another video in 2 weeks from now explaining what that new content is potentially going to be. So we all have that to look forward to, even if whatever is happening. So thank you guys so much for watching this quick little discussion video about this news. If not the video,